Remember, we had a kind of short trail line.
I cease commands.
Roger.
The Coast Guard performs many medical evacuations, or medevacs, every year. But a medevac also involves careful planning and procedures. For a medevac, secure medical records, including medications, identification, and important papers for patient inside blankets or clothing. Provide warm clothing, secure blankets, and a life jacket if possible. Prepare the patient by providing ear and eye protection.
Okay, Noel, I think she's ready. Come on out here, give me a hand.
If needed, strap the patient into the litter and position litter on deck just before the hoist to the helicopter. Usually this will be done by Coast Guard personnel. Because the time on scene can be very short, have the evacuee moved as close to the hoist area as possible. If the patient can walk, the basket will be used for an evacuation. The patient must keep their hands and legs inside the basket at all times. Signal the helicopter crew with a thumbs up when ready to hoist. If the trail line is attached, make sure the line is clear of rigging and feet. Stand inboard of the litter or basket. An effective basket retrieval can be accomplished from the water or the deck. If survivors are in a life raft or in the water, a rescue swimmer may be deployed to help them into the rescue basket. Assistance on deck also may be needed due to spray, illness, injury, hypothermia, or fear. Follow the rescue swimmer's instructions to the letter. They are highly trained for this type of work.
When they come down, they just tell you what's going to happen, and they're going to tell you what to do. You know, so that there's no question. When he tells you to do it, you're going to do it.
The basket is designed to hold only one person at a time. In the water, most of the basket will be difficult to see. Board the basket in a sitting position. It is important to keep legs, arms, and hands totally inside the basket to keep from being pinched against the helicopter fuselage. Once the basket is next to the helicopter, you will be turned so you are facing outboard for proper weight distribution and then brought into the aircraft. This will also prevent you from being tempted to get out of the basket until totally inside the safety of the fuselage. The Coast Guard may also rescue individuals by physically grabbing the victim or by using a rescue strap, but always with the help of a rescue swimmer. Try to relax and listen to the rescue swimmer's commands. One common type of pump delivered to you by the helicopter pumps 120 gallons a minute at a 10-foot lift. That is about enough to keep up with a 2.5-inch hole 1 foot below the water line. These pumps are inspected every 30 days to make sure everything is there and working properly. In a direct deployment, the trail line will be delivered directly to the vessel. Retrieve the line hand over hand without entangling it. When all of the line is paid out, the pump will be lowered. The deck crew will then have to physically pull the line with the pump to the deck. Once delivered, disconnect the metal hoist cable from the box.
Pump is on the deck. They're disconnecting the hook.
The helicopter will then back off to a safer location.
Hook is in the cabin, hoist complete.
It is important to try to keep the pump as upright as possible.
Pump is on deck. They're disconnected.
If it tips, oil floods the cylinders and it's harder to start.
Help me out, Mary. It's pretty good.
It will be helpful to have 2 or 3 people handling and starting the pump.
Roger, trail line's going out the door, and trail line is only 5 feet above the water.
If unable to directly deploy the pump to the vessel, the helicopter crew will get the trail line to you and then back off to a safer location. They will then push the pump out of the helicopter into the water. You will then just have to retrieve the pump from the water with the trail line. You should never tie anything that is attached to the helicopter directly to the boat. However, the pump, once in the water, is not attached to the helicopter, so it is a good idea to tie the trail line to the vessel to prevent the floating pump from being lost. Open the pump box once it is secure on deck. Inside, you will find a pump, hose, flashlight, and operating instructions.
I got the instructions, yeah.
All right.
Hook up this hose, it looks like first.
Okay.
Find the suction hose with the metal strainer that keeps debris out of the pump.
So what's the next step, Mary?
Okay, it looks like we're gonna take this end and put it in the hold and totally submerge it in the water.
Keep the water pickup end of it well submerged, because if any air gets into that at all, then you've got to reprime the pump, and that takes a while. We could have saved a lot of time if we'd had a means of holding that underwater. Finally, the deckhand got down into the water and held it in place, and it was able to keep the prime, and we were able to quickly dewater the boat.
The pump should not be used inside an enclosed space without proper ventilation. It is helpful to have a 15-foot line on board ahead of time so the crew knows how far the suction hose will reach.